Hey all, so let's start the exercise 5.1. So the first question is, which of them are APs? Let's see the first option. The taxi fare after each kilometer when the fare is rupees 15 for the first kilometer and rupees 8 for each additional kilometer. So according to this, the first kilometer fare is 15 and for the difference is rupees 8 for each additional kilometer. So for the next kilometer it will be plus 8, which is 23. For the next kilometer it will be again plus 8, which is 31, and so on. Okay, so is this an AP? So since they have mentioned that they will be adding 8 for each additional kilometers, it itself says that this is an AP because the difference is fixed. Okay, this is a fixed number. Now for the second one, this is interesting. Let's see. The amount of air present in a cylinder when a vacuum pump removes 1/4 of the air remaining in the cylinder at a time. Okay, so for this one, let's assume the amount of air initially present in the cylinder is X. Okay, now every time what happens is the vacuum pump is removing 1/4 of the remaining air. This is need to be focused, remaining air. Okay, in the cylinder at a time. So initially the air quantity was X. Now it is removing 1/4 of the air. So what will be the remaining air in that cylinder? So X minus 1/4 of X, because X is the initial quantity and the quantity being removed is 1/4 of X. Now let's simplify this. That will be X. If you solve this, it will be like 3/4 X. Okay, 3/4 X is remaining. For the next term, now we know that 3/4 of X air is remaining. In this, it is again pumping out 1/4 of the air. So, minus 1/4 of the remaining air. So, the remaining air is 3/4 X. Let's simplify it. 3/4 X will remain the same, and this will be like 3/16 X. Okay. Now let's see, is this an AP or not? So for that we have to find the common difference. This is A1, this is A2, this is A3, and for common difference D equal to A2 minus A1. We know that. So A2 is 3/4 X, A1 is X. If we subtract, it will be 3/4 X minus 4/4 X, which is equal to minus 1/4 X. Now we will see that is the difference fixed. So we got the D as minus 1/4 X. For the next one, we will be D equal to A3 minus A2. So A3 is 3/4 X minus 3/16 minus 3/4 X, which is equal to this and this get cancelled out, minus 3/16 X. So if you see this D are not equal. So this is not an AP. Let's start with the third option. So the cost of digging a well for every meter of digging, when it costs rupees 150 for the first meter and rises by 50 for each subsequent meter. So see one thing, if there is mentioned subsequent, it means they are referring to each next meter or kilometer or unit, whatever unit it is. So if they have mentioned that 50, they are increasing for each unit, each kilometer, each subsequent meter. In that cases, mostly it will be in AP. But let's form the series and see. So for the first meter, it is 150 rupees. So this is our A. A is basically the first term. Now we will add 50 to it and we will get 200. Now again they are saying like 50 need to be added. So plus 50, it will be 250. Now we'll again add 50 to it, it will be 300 and so on. So if you see, it's very evident that we are adding every time 50 and we are getting the next term. So the difference is constant, it is an AP. Now this one, the amount of money in the account every year when rupees 10,000 is deposited at compound interest at 8% per annum. See, usually compound interest doesn't count into APs, but you should never take a chance. Let's just calculate first three terms and then find the common difference. So here we know the formula for CI is amount will be equal to principal and multiplied by 1 plus rate by 100 and time, power to the time. This is not 8, this is rate. Okay, so let's calculate the terms. So A1 will be equal to, using the formula, principal is 10,000. 10,000, 1 plus our rate is 8 by 100 by 1, because time period we are seeing after 1 year. Now for A2 it will be 10,000, 1 plus 8 by 100 to the power 2. For A3 it will be 10,000, 1 plus 8 by 100, 3. Okay, see, now we have to calculate A2 minus A1 is equal to A3 minus A2 or not. So this is our main goal, because if A2 minus A1 is equal to A3 minus A2, that means, yeah, this sequence is forming an AP at least. So let's try to do that. But before that, see what the thing is. If you want, you can try to solve it in the traditional way, okay, resolving everything, doing this plus minus and everything. But in exams you won't have that much time, so I'll tell you a short trick kind which can help you. So let's assume this is A, this amount is A, and this amount is B. Don't get confused with the first term A. Okay, let's do one thing, let's change it. I'll mark it as X and this as Y. So we assume this as X and this as Y. Now A2 minus A1. So A2 minus A1. In A2, this we are calling it as X. So X, now this one is, okay, let's not do like this. Let's first take A2. So A2 is 10,000, 1 plus 8 by 100 to the power 2. A1 is minus 10,000, 1 plus 8 by 100 power 1. Is it equal to A3? 10,000, 1 plus 8 by 100 to the power 3 minus A2. A2 is 10,000, 1 plus 8 by 100 to the power 2. So now just replace it with X and Y. So this is X, this is Y. Okay, so this will be X, Y to the power 2. Okay, Now minus, this is again x, y, this is y, this is y. So y to the power 1 equal to, this again x, and then this is y. So y to the power 3 minus, this is again x, and this is y to the power 2. So we got this equation. Now we'll try to take something common. So I'm doing it here. Next step. So it will be, let's take, here we can take common x and y both. So xy, what we'll have? We'll have one y here and nothing here. Okay, only one here. So y minus 1. Now for the right hand side, we can take common xy square, because here we have xy cube. So xy square, what we'll have remaining is y minus 1. Y minus 1. So this is what we have got in last. Okay, now let's see it is equal or not. So if you see x, y, y minus 1, x, y square, y minus 1. So if you see that we have this extra. Here it is y to the power 1. Here it is y to the power 2. See, just think like this, that if we write in multiplication, if we expand it, it will be x into left hand side y into y minus 1 equal to right hand side x into y into y into y minus 1. I have written 2 times y because it is y square. So if you see, this and this will cancel out, this and this will cancel out, this and this will cancel out. But here everything got cancelled. It is, but here we still have y. So that's why this difference is not equal to, this is not equal to, so this is not an AP. So if you like it, please subscribe and hit the bell icon. Thank you.